Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Hey,
Hey,
welcome, Dimitri. This is Dale.
Thank you.
Nice,
Hey, Dale.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hey, Blake.
Blake.
I could
Are
not
you
find
still
my
with us?
unmute button. Dimitri,
Hey.
how are you? Good to hear your voice.
Hey, it's been a long time. What was it like? More than 10 years ago, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it was that long ago. Maybe
Seven.
6 years
Yeah,
ago, but it was a while
I think
ago.
seven probably. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, good to hear you and Steven. I can't wait to hear your experiences. It's really nice to have you here, and thank you for being part
Thanks
of
for
our
having me here,
community.
guys.
It's
Take-
nice to have you.
Take
Dale,
it away, Steve. Huh?
Dale, I think you should start with your following with your usual question.
Okay.
How did Dimitris find himself involved in this industry, right?
Yeah, Dimitri, who do you blame for ending up in the industry, buddy? What was your journey? I mean, what were you doing before you got into trading? And
Okay,
was it
before he even begins to answer that, because he's not going to say it, I'm going to go even further back in time. I'm
grammar
going to
school?
tell you, because he's humble, he's not going to say it. I'm going to tell you that we were classmates in the best school of Greece, and Dimitris was the best of the best in school. He actually made it to his first choice in the university, which was the Economic School of Athens, number one. He entered as the number one among all students in Greece. So you understand he's a bright guy, and take it from
Yeah,
here.
so
Dimitri.
why would a bright guy like you, Dimitri? I know it's challenging and it's interesting, but it can be a tough road. Trading, especially until you master it. Did you have your learning curve? Why don't we just start there then? Your learning curve. How did you learn how to trade? Did you have mentors? Are you self-taught?
Well, I started like my first job, let's say, in the industry was as a student when I was still in Greece as a university student. I was looking for a job, and my uncle actually introduced me to some friends he had in a brokerage firm. So I got there my first job as a student. That was like for a brief period of time, like a year or so.
Like an internship.
Stock brokerage. Yeah.
Yeah, stock brokerage, sort of an internship. Well, it wasn't an internship because I ended up, staying there for a year.
Okay.
But it wasn't. Yeah, it was mostly, of course. Yeah, you had some.
You were cold calling.
But no, it wasn't cold calling. You just had to do mostly administrative stuff, but you also get to, observe what is happening, and
boring.
It's the first introduction to the, let's say, to the business.
Right.
And after that, I knew that this is going to be temporary, anyways, because I was planning to go abroad for my master's. So I went to Germany for my master's, and then I was approaching the end of the studies and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. One of my classmates got a job in a market making firm, and he was just telling us, okay, what is he doing? How is the job and all that. So it sounded pretty interesting, and I applied there as well. And yeah, I got the job. That was back in 2007.
Ingmar is asking which university in Germany, Dimitri. I remember you were in Berlin.
It was the Humboldt Universität.
Okay.
So yeah, I started in 2007, just before the big crash in the financial crisis, and as a market maker, first in equity options and then index options for the first 4 years in equity options, and then the next 9-10 years almost index options. So yeah, that's
Okay. Well, you know, a lot of people, including, I believe, Steve, you know, Stelios, come in with these, you know, excellent economic fundamentals and understand all the mechanics and supply and demand and all these things. And they realize after a while that they need a timing tool to help them, because their narratives could be correct, but it could they could be early. The market doesn't recognize it yet, and that most things that you learn at the university level doesn't really help you in trading. Am I reading you correct, Steve? That's what you told us in the past.
Actually, first of all, as I've said in the past, I think the economics the vast majority of universities teach are completely detached from reality and the real economy, first of all. Second of all, especially during the past 15 years, we live in an era that fundamentals, even if you know the right fundamentals, the market doesn't follow them, because the market follows just, you know, liquidity
Momentum.
and monetary policy.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I think Dimitris is going to testify to that, because, you know, he's been in this industry for a long period of time, and, you know, they've seen price and price action. Actually, why don't you start, Dimitri, by telling us, what does a market, many people don't know, what does a market maker actually do? What is the business model? I mean,
sure. So let's say a market maker is a market participant who is, let's say, buying and selling securities for his own account, and at prices that he continuously displays in the exchange trading system. When you, let's say, log in your trading account, and you see the bid-ask spread you see on your screens, these are all quoted by market makers. They continuously quote and provide liquidity, and basically you're ensuring that there's always a willing buyer and seller for the products people want to trade.
and how do you make money as a market maker?
Capturing the spread, Dimitri, is that also
yes, from the bid-ask spread. Basically, you have a theoretical you have a theoretical price for the security you're trading, and then you're quoting around this fair value that you see, which of course is not a static number. It's just you adjust it all the time as more as the market conditions change, and you quote around this fair value, that's the main function of the market maker.
And is that done? I know, for example, that you were in the S&P desk. Is that only done by humans, or part of the function is done algorithmically?
These days, that all the exchanges have moved on the screens. It's all electronic trading. Of course, there's still some trading floors in the US, and some actually pretty active ones, like the CME and the CBOE bids. But these tend to be the exception these days. Everything's done pretty much electronically. All these things, you quote all these quotes you see in the system. It's just you need automated systems to do it for you, because we're talking about thousands of instruments and basically thousands of different stocks or option series or whatever basically you're trading. We're talking about thousands of instruments. If you consider how many strikes you have, how many expiries, and so on. So all these things need to be automated. But of course, you also have the more old school way, where you still have trading in the pit. So let's say the floor trader will provide the quote, and it's gonna be just voice trading there. And you
So
have
did you also have for your company floor traders in the pits?
Yeah, the market makers are all the market makers have presence in the floor if they're trading this product. Yes. And of course, you also have you can also have quoting prices to brokers. So because a lot of these market participants, they don't go necessarily on the screen to trade electronically. They might want to call their broker, and the broker, of course, has to call around and find the best possible price for their for the client. So he will have to call. The first stop for the broker is the market makers, of course, to get an initial quote, and then from then on, it's just a negotiating process. Because some people are going to be more willing buyers, some people are going to be more willing sellers, and yeah, you will hopefully you reach you basically get a trade. But yeah, the vast majority is electronic these days.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hey,
We live in 2021.
Dimitri, when you started trading for yourself, having been a market maker, did you start off doing a lot of short-term trading, and is that still the case, or
basically, Dale, to give you some context here, Dimitris just quit after 13 and a half years very, very, very recently. As you know, as long as he was working, he was not allowed to be a short-term trader in anything for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So
I left beginning of this year. So
yes, but he has started trading for himself since.
It's still very, very fresh. Took some, taking some time off first, but unfortunately, you cannot do much with all the travel restrictions currently. So I, do some day trading, but this is
new venture.
It's a new thing.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's something for the long run or something, temporary, right? For as long as we are, in this situation with the pandemic. But trading, let's say, for yourself is a completely different story, especially if you're just used to for a completely different approach for 14 years almost, and now just doing it for yourself. It's a completely different game, and takes some.
Many floor traders that made a living off of paper, Dimitri, were not able to make the transition to off the floor trading because they didn't have to know how to trade, right? All they had to do was trade against the paper and try and pick up few points, few pips in between, and they weren't directional traders, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, because we were not our trading. It was not
you weren't speculating.
It was not directional. We're not. Our approach is not like, okay, we think the S&P is going to go up or down. This is
although you did get to benefit the more volatility the market had, obviously, right? I mean, in more volatile conditions, market makers make more money, don't they?
You need good trading conditions, I would say, because extreme volatility and erratic markets can harm trading.
I'm not talking about extreme volatility, but I'm talking about like a healthy amount of volatility.
But so let's say some healthy amount of volatility brings more trading, because the moment trading picks up, it's you have more people that need to do something, readjust their position or put on new positions, so that you have increased volumes. So that the benefits, of course, trading. But
can I ask you this, Dimitri?
Yeah.
I was a runner on the floor and an out trade clerk and all of that, and I remember floor traders getting in early to handle things called out trades, where during the previous day they thought that all their trades were matched up, and then it comes back, someone doesn't know the trade, and you come in and you're either long or short, and a day has passed and you have to square up the trades. Did out trades happen as a market maker like they did during open outcry for floor traders?
Out trade, you mean electronic?
It probably doesn't happen electronically, but they used to, just record their trades on a card, and they're doing it with hand signals, and they think a trade is executed, and then they come in the next day, and the guy
I see what you mean. No, you still have these things, but I think it's quite rare in the sense that the remaining trading floors, they all have systems in place to basically match the trades instantly. And if you don't match your trades instantly, then
because
probably you will see it the same day. It's quite unusual. I cannot remember like a case where you just have to wait. It's quite rare. And if it's electronically, of course, you can have some let's call mistrades that happen outside, let's say, in some boundaries that the exchange sets. But and different exchanges have different ways of let's say dealing with these mistrades. So it could be the case that the trade is outside the let's say the fair trade range of defined by the exchange. So there are some clear rules in most cases. So the trade can be cancelled or adjusted to a more fair price. So
How about this? Why, after 13 years, what was the catalyst for you just deciding to move on? Personal reasons, burnout, you just want to do something different. There's probably many reasons.
It was a combination of different things. It was not, let's say, only one factor that weighed on the decision. It was quite a long time, let's say, especially for a market making job. So I felt the time.
Actually, if I remember right, you were one of the oldest there. I mean, they usually people get to stay in this business.
It's very young environment, let's say, which is also has something to do, of course, with how intense the trading is, in the sense that
Dimitris rarely had vacations. I mean, I don't think there was a year that you took your whole vacation period, right?
No, but that was more like up to me, because I didn't take holidays. But there were people who would just take their normal holidays. But it was more like up to me. What I mean is, the trading is, since you're all the time in the market, the trading is like continuous. It's not like you're trading for yourself, or in a different capacity where you have a trading idea, you put a trade on, you wait, and you see if it works or it doesn't work. As a market maker, you're just there all the time, trading, adjusting. So you have to be very focused. It's very intense. At the same time, it's very exciting, of course, as well.
Go ahead, admit it. Your girlfriend wanted you to quit. So that you guys could do something else. Come on.
But it turns out you cannot do anything else these days. You can just stay home, and you cannot go anywhere. So I guess
Dimitri,
at some point, it's going to change.
For so many years working at a market maker, if we are to discuss a little bit about the markets, we have some time. First of all, it's a good idea to take your input on what you think about the current market environment and what people that work professionally in the industry think about. I mean, the no bullshit opinion about what people think for the current market environment. And also, since you were at the position you were able, in essence, to see what the smart money is doing in the markets, because all the flow of the big orders goes through you. So why don't you tell us what you think the smart money is doing, and why don't you also tell us what you think about the current market conditions?
What the current market is, I find it very strange, personally. I don't, it's a very, very weird market, considering that the market keeps recovered very fast, keeps making new highs. Okay, it's been trading now around 3,900 for some time, but anyways, we're all-time highs. And at the same time, like I've seen markets before, like, you know, trading at near the all-time highs. It's way more calm, and you can see that also from the VIX and well, a lot of signals. But now the market is at all-time highs with
Volatility 20.
VIX above 20. Also, at times very, very nervous. Let's say S&P gets ticks down 0.5%, and just some weird nervousness, and also every time that there is a hint of they might do something with the rates, or we might have let's say one of the Fed members saying something unexpected, the market is just having a nervous breakdown, which feels pretty weird. Like everything has to be prepared. The market has to be prepared for everything they say. Everything has to be scripted. And if, you know, in the, let's say, FOMC statement, there's something not expected, it's very panicky. And
how about this, Dimitri? Do you and the people at the desk and guys you know in the industry believe that there really is a plunge protection team?
That's a good question, actually, Dale.
Do you ever see the flow, or, you know, when markets are down hard, all of a sudden they start coming back, and where's the buying coming from? Do you believe in that there's actually a plunge protection team on desk to come in and support the market when it's under duress?
To be honest, I haven't thought about that, or have never discussed such a thing on the desk. It's also hard for us to have, let's say, such an opinion, because you are trading for your own account and you don't have contact with with people outside. It's not, let's say, if you compare it to a bank trading desk, or let's say a fund, or
you don't have clients you speak with.
The bank talks to the clients. Let's say the fund managers will talk to other fund managers, or, you know, with their bank traders, or, you know. But for us, it's more, let's say, we're focused on our, you know, you're focused on your screens. Of course, the screens give you a lot of information, because all the trades you're trading continuously, and that's let's say the best information through trading. But to such a thing, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't think.
Just another, you know, conspiracy thing out there that people believe in. I know that Steve probably believes in it. Central planning. Yeah.
What do you think about cryptocurrencies?
I like trading them these days.
Other than that,
I think
fundamentally speaking,
there is some interesting ideas, some interesting properties. Let's say in the let's say when talk about cryptocurrencies, let's talk about Bitcoin, because anyways everything goes up or down with Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin
and it's anyhow like 60% of the crypto market or so.
Exactly. So if Bitcoin dies, everything is going to die, I think, with it.
Yes, no disagreement there.
It's definitely, you know, quite interesting, the technological part. I see some after reading and spending more time now reading stuff about it, that there is some in the technology, there is some interesting perhaps application of the technology, and see how. And in general, I mean, moving towards digital currency sounds an interesting idea, but the market, of course, has taken it to to a whole new level, and I guess you see what people are, people are thinking that is going to take over the world as the one and only currency, and
yeah, which, as we were discussing the other day, there is no chance of happening because
no,
simply,
of course, I don't think there's a chance of that happening, and also
because simply central banks are not going to surrender the rein in monetary policy. As simple as that.
Yeah, of course they're not going to surrender, and also there is also, from a, let's say, a practical perspective, a lot of things need to happen before it actually starts saying that okay, it's is living, let's say, to some of its hype and potential. And at this stage, I don't see that. I don't see that. I see a very interesting trading instrument for sure, and it's.
Is there a war on cash in Greece and Europe, and about using paper euros and doing everything digitally? I mean, there are now, most businesses don't want to accept cash here in the U.S. They want your credit debit cards, and
as you understand,
they're using COVID
exactly has given a very, very good push in that direction.
Yeah, it has definitely. Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm here. I don't remember the last time I used cash. It's like everything is just.
Where do you hide your cash in? And what's your address? Anyway, I don't know, Steve, how long you want to go, but I've learned from working with a few great guys from Greece how so many words in English have their roots in Greek. And I'm looking at your last name, Dimitri, and it kind of looks like it would have psychology or psychiatry, or that your last name is probably a great name for market sentiment. Does it have does psychiatry and psychology have its root in your last name?
No.
Okay, I
can tell you though. Right? I can tell you though that his father was a mathematician.
Okay, but you know why I'm saying that, right? PSYCH. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
no, it has to do with that. I mean, the name. But now, going back to the roots, many people don't know where their names came from. We know what they mean. You know what I mean? My name is Voulgaridis, for example. Bulgaria is Bulgaria. Now, I'm assuming that at some point there was like some ancestor, probably from or whatever. But who knows how many generations back? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was curious.
Yeah.
It was really a pleasure.
All of them mean something, but
Okay.
Nobody. I mean, since we don't have any more digital, we didn't have back then like digital photography or like e-calendars. That ancestors could keep like notes.
Right.
Nobody knows anymore.
I was going to ask Dimitri if I could lay down on the couch and have a session, but anyway, it was a pleasure meeting you, Dimitri. I wish
it was a pleasure being here.
Really, great success on your next chapter, and
thank you.
Hope to hear more from you down the road.
Thank you for having me on your webinar, guys. Is it
great conversation, semi non sequitur recap, crypto? Another great conversation, providing both sides of the Dogecoin. Was between Anthony Pompliano and Mike Green on Real Vision. Gives you a lot of things. It says Anthony Kanakis, not the Anthony Kanakis.
What are you saying about the Dogecoin?
No, he proposes like to listen to a conversation. So thanks for the great talk, people say. So thank you for being with us, Dimitri, and we'll do this again at some point in the future for sure.
The half hour just passed
Flew
very
by,
quickly.
right? I told you in
Yeah,
advance.
I was wondering, before the show that okay, what are we going to talk about for half an hour? But if
There
you
are always things to talk about.
but if you actually start talking, you can actually go on for hours.
Yeah,
the
tell me
markets.
about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
they keep trying to tell me that time is over, and
Yeah.
most of the times I just run over it.
Yeah. All right,
Well,
guys.
all right. Well, great
Thank
week,
you.
everybody.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good weekend.
Have a good weekend. I hope you guys get your vaccine soon, and you could
No,
start.
in Europe, we're not getting vaccines. We're just arguing with AstraZeneca.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
I've been reading about that.
What
so-
about
Yeah.
in Netherlands, Dimitri? How many? What's the percentage of the population now that you mentioned it that has been vaccinated?
I haven't checked the last few days. I think it's something like 1.5 million. But overall sentiment is that it's going also pretty slowly, as in the rest of Europe. So yeah, I don't think it's much different than the rest of the continental Europe. They're not easing any restrictions as well. So
Yeah, but you've told me that people have, the more time passes, people just pay attention and follow the restrictions less and less, right?
Yeah.
yeah, there's
fatigue.
definitely fatigue from the population. They cannot do this thing anymore. I mean, the other day I was trying to have a walk in the park, and a guy approached me without a mask. And there's no mandatory mask
Outside.
for outdoors here, only indoors. So a guy approaches me very closely and tries to show me something on his phone, like like he hasn't lived in the pandemic the last year. And he asked me, "Excuse me, where is this place? Because I have a party to go." It's like, you're joking. So I think that's the current state. He was going to a children's party, and it's like, okay.
Did you take his name for the police?
Yeah,
children's party.
I am
know.
sure the last time I checked the restrictions, it was like you could have one guest in your house. But okay. but all right.
I'll tell you. Just don't harm the children.
Yeah.
Okay, mate. Have a wonderful rest of the day. See you, ForexAnalytix members, in 10 minutes.
Dimitri,
Bye,
thank you for being here. I just wanted to jump in and say thanks for being here.
Nice talking to you guys.
Nice talking
to everyone.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, don't just count your pips or your face masks. Count your blessings, and we'll see everyone Monday. We laid it all out there on the floor for you this week. Hope we added value, and I'm a big believer in signing up on a Friday so you have the weekend to relax and learn to navigate the best Forex site on the net. And that's a wrap, everyone. Have a great weekend. Blake, Steve, I'll see you guys next week. Adios.